Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's live stream. Just to give people a couple minutes here just to connect. If you guys have any questions or anything you want to go over, just type it in the chat. Today I was just thinking it would be more of a Q&A type deal. See what people want to hear about. Thinking this might be a weekly thing. Could have some ideas to talk about in the future as well. Give people one more minute here. All right, so I think we can get started here. Today, I just wanted to go over kind of a Q&A type session. So if you guys have questions or things you want to talk about, feel free to leave them in the chat. We can go over those. In the meantime, I figured I would look at some earnings today. Maybe put on a trade or two. And then with tomorrow's live stream, could probably take those off. So here I've got the earnings that are here today. Looking through, the big ones I see are Netflix. We can look at BIIB. I got Verizon, that won't be good, and UAL. So I think these are the three that I'm going to look at. I haven't heard of the other names before, so I'm not going to trade those. Earnings are kind of an engagement play. You can kind of expect to kind of break even over the long term with earnings, so I don't trade earnings very big. So first, let's look at Netflix. Over off my screen. There we go. So look at Netflix first. An IV rank of 40.8. That's good. It's a $600 stock. That is quite high. So I will be doing something to find risk here. So I'm going to first go to the option chain, and I'll look at the volatilities over here on the side. So if you go out 94 days, 60 days out, we're looking at IV typically in the 33 to 36 range. So right off the bat, I'm not going to do anything in the November cycle because there's very little vol crush. And earnings, I would say, is you're playing more so for a vol crush, expecting earnings to be a non-event and the premium to come out. So I would look to do something in the weekly here. So if I go to the October 22nd expiration, which is this Friday, we can see that we have $5 wide strike prices. Markets aren't too bad for a $600 stock. They're about 15 cents wide in most cases. So if you look at the chart here, you can see over the last 6 months, Netflix has gone up. So I guess take of that what you will, whether you want to be bullish or bearish. I am going to stay neutral, so I might do an iron condor. So I'm going to start by going out to the expected move here, which is this brown bar on TASTYWORKS. And I'm going to start by just selling a $5 wide iron condor. You can go wider if you want. You can go to 10. Let's see what we got. So if we go $10 wide, we're at 370. That's pretty good. Pop of 60%. The P50 says it's less than 1%. That seems like a glitch. I would expect that to be around the 60% number, if not higher. Delta is 0.49, so very slightly bullish, but basically neutral. You can see that in my delta column here, the puts are at the 20 delta, and the calls are at the 24 delta. So this trade takes about $620 in buying power. This should update. Max profit of 380. I'll look to take this trade off in the morning. So I will push this through and see if I get filled. So before I move on, I see Benito has a question about trading 1 DTE. I do not trade 1 DTE. I found that premium stays bid in there. For most of the day, you don't really get a whole lot of the juice to come out. So to me, the 1 DTE isn't worth the risk. There's plenty of people on, say, the Facebook group that does do 1 DTE. You can try it if you want. I would just say stay small. I think there's enough 0 DTE occurrences that I don't force the trades on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So Tuesday and Thursdays, I focus on my other strategies that I do outside of 0 DTE. And on my website here, I do have a list of the different the different strategies that I do rather. So 0 DTE are the first two. I also do a couple directional trades. These are both bullish trades. And then I do a lot of naked options and short strangles. I have some hedges that I do, and then earnings trades to also keep me involved. So those are the strategies that I do. And you can see how I've done over this year. I started tracking these a couple months ago, so it's not the full year. But as you can see that this year's been pretty good for me. So that's on my website at IncomeOptionsTrading.com if you're interested. These strategies, I have trade logs as part of my Discord. So here's an example of one of the trade logs. So this is just naked options and spreads on futures. This is primarily David Sun's strategy of selling the 5 delta put in MES. I haven't put that on today. The market's been ripping higher, but I'll put that on probably during this live stream as well, just to go over that as well. So that was Netflix. We'll let that work. The next earnings on deck, BIIB. I probably won't trade this, but I'll take a look at it. IV rank of 30. That's pretty good. $270 stock, so I'll probably do defined risk. There's a little bit of vol crush here in the November cycle. It's similar to Netflix, about 3%. So I probably wouldn't go out 30 days. So I'd probably do something in the weekly. So let's take a look at here. Volume, which are the trades that have been put on today, is pretty light on this. So I don't like seeing that. And if you look at the options, they're 10 to 15 cents wide. I mean, here's a 50-cent wide market, 70 cents at the money. I don't like seeing that. Netflix had better markets, and Netflix is over twice the price of this. So I am going to skip BIIB. And the last one, UAL, an 8.6 IV rank. I don't like that, but it's a low price stock, so I could do something naked in here. If I look at the volatility on the side here, there's no vol crush in the November cycle, so I would do something in the weekly. And if we look at the weekly here, the expected move for the week is $2. So we're looking at $44.50 on the bottom side and $49 on the top side. So you could do something like that. It's 80 cents for the short strangle. I like to at least collect $1 if I'm doing a short strangle. So maybe you bring this to the 45. But then you're inside the expected move. You're using about $785 in buying power here. And with the IV rank this low, the premiums just aren't really there. So I think I'm going to skip UAL as well. So I'm just going to work this Netflix. You can see the markets are pretty wide. So I'll just take that down to 370 and let that work a little bit longer here. So Netflix is the only earnings trade that I will do today. See if we have any other questions. No other questions, but I see other people have joined. So guys and girls, today I just want to do kind of a Q&A type session. So if you guys have anything you have questions about or want me to discuss either in this live stream or in a future live stream, please put that in the chat. So I have something to talk about that you guys want to hear. So with that said, I think the next line of business is to do the sell my daily MES short put, which is David Sun's strategy. So I'll type in /MES, which is the micro E-mini S&P 500. With this future, every point is $5. So it's not the same as your equity options. So if I go, just for example, find a short put that's 20 points, I'll lock that. Our max profit is $100. So in a typical equity option, you would think that this would be taking in a $2,000 credit, but you're really only taking in $100. So something different with futures there. So with David Sun strategy, I'm going to go out closest to the 60 DTE, and I'm just going to sell the 5 delta put. Been getting about $12.50 on this the last couple days. Here it's a little bit less, so I will sell that. It takes about $60 in buying power if you saw that there. I'll just take this down to get filled. So I got filled, so then I can update my trade log with that. And the management with this is to take off at 60% or at 2 times net loss. So I'm going to go in here. I just sold the 37.70 short put, so I'll right click, I'll uptick the close profit percentage at 60%. And you can see that it defaults to 480, but MES options have to be in quarter point or 0.25 increments. So I'll just down tick, so it's 475. You can see if I uptick, actually, because it's under $5, you can do nickel. Above $5, it's got to be quarter point. But I'll down tick to 475 and push that through there. So that's in there. One thing with TASTYWORKS, GTC orders haven't been put on the platform yet. So I do a day order. So if I were to do that again, the only order type you can do is day. You can't do good till canceled. So then every morning I go through my activity tab. I just toggle on the canceled, and you can see all the orders that were canceled at the close, the futures close, which is 4 p.m. Central Time. They reopen up at 5 p.m. Central Time, and you can just go through and click similar order and then manually go through and update that. So we were told earlier in the year that good till canceled orders on futures would be put through Q4 of this year. Obviously, we're in Q4 now. Don't know if that'll happen by the end of the year, but that'd be cool if it did. If not, hopefully Q1 of next year. So I see Andrew had another question. Do you trade diagonals? I typically do not. I don't really like diagonals or calendar spreads. Calendar spreads, especially are really slow moving trades, are pretty boring to me. So I'd rather use my capital elsewhere. Diagonals kind of the same thing. I do occasionally, if I do a diagonal, it'll be something like a poor man's covered call. So if you're not sure what that is, I'll just go into SBY here, and basically you go far out in time. So maybe I'll go to the 122-day expiration, and I'm going to buy an in the money put or call, excuse me. And this is going to synthesize long stock, and then you can trade or sell premium against that in the short term. So if I go 30 days out, maybe I'd sell the, like the 30 delta call against that. So that long call limits your buying power. So this acts similar to a covered call. If we look at the analysis graph here, and I turn off all my other SPY positions, you can see this is similar to a covered call position, where to the downside you lose 1-to-1 for stock, and to the upside you're capped at whatever strike price you sold. Difference being is this has limited downside, so if SPY absolutely tanks, your loss is limited to the debit you paid overall. The nice thing with this type of trade is you can roll your short call out, similar to like you would do with a covered call, to keep collecting premiums and reducing that cost basis. So that's the only diagonal that I would do. I could do this on the reverse side with puts, buy an in the money put way out in time and then sell an out of the money put against it in a shorter time frame, and keep rolling that out to collect premium there. So hopefully that answers your trade or your question there. So we're coming up on 20 minutes here. Haven't got it filled on my Netflix yet. I'll down tick this another 5 cents. See if we get filled. There, got filled at 365. So I will take a look at that trade tomorrow morning on the live stream, which I'm planning to start around 8 a.m. Central Time. We'll see on the exact time, but I'll go over that, and tomorrow I'm planning to do a rundown on some of the 0 DTE trades that I do as well. Today is not a 0 DTE day, so just kind of a slower day, making sure things are in line. The market is up about 0.6% across the board. The Dow is lagging a little bit. Volatility down a little bit, but not a whole lot. It's gotten crushed the last couple days. But I mean, if we look at the S&P 500 here, we can just see that last couple days we've ripped higher in this this dip kind of looks like a distant memory at this point. So we'll see what the next few days bring. So follow-up question from Andrew: what about other strategies that take advantage of steep term structure and put skew? So I don't really look at the term structure, so the different volatilities out in time. I don't really pay attention to that. The only time I do is when I'm looking at earnings with vol crush. There's typically, if you see something funky with vol out in time, there's usually some type of earnings event, or like Tesla has their consumer day, or I don't know what it's called, but they have some days where they give out different news, so that's kind of a binary event. But a lot of people do calendars and are successful. I just find the trades really slow moving and boring, and doesn't really fit my personality. As far as put skew, so like the SPY has a lot of put skew. Depends on if you're bullish or bearish. So the most basic thing you can do if there's put skew is sell a put, because let's see, at 450, so if we go 50 points below at 400 and 50 points above to 500, we're going to see that the put is trading for 234 and the call is trading for 11 cents. So that's pretty big put skew. So why would you even sell this 50 or 500 strike call? You really wouldn't. So that's one way to take advantage. Another way to take advantage, if you're somewhat neutral or bullish to neutral, you can sell a put to take advantage of that put skew. And because you have put skew, the call spreads are going to trade expensive. So that doesn't really make a lot of intuitive sense. But basically, if you trade, say, a $5 wide called spread, you'll get some decent credit out of there. So this type of a strategy is basically an iron condor without the long put leg. So here, I mean, we can go pretty far away. What delta did I sell? So I sold a 26 delta put. And on the call side, I can go, let's say the 475, 480 call spread. And I'll get net $6 in credit. So even if SPY blows past my 480 strike, I'm still going to make $1, because this max value of here is going to be $5 at expiration. So if we look at the curve analysis again, and I just have this on, you can see to the upside you have no risk. On the downside you have your 1-to-1 risk because of your short put, but this is a nice way to take advantage of the put skew as well. If you are bearish, you could buy a put spread. Usually I like to go near the money, or even some people call this an in and out. So I have my long put in the money and my short put out in the money. But here you can see I'm buying a $10 wide put spread, but I have $162 of extrinsic value. So if SPY doesn't move, I'll make an extra $162 because this is trading at 422, but really it should be trading at 580 because SPY is at 450, call it 450.20. This expired, this long put would be worth the $5.80. So that's one way of taking advantage there if you are bearish. Another thing you can do is either a put ratio spread or a put broken wing butterfly. So broken wing butterfly, I like to put the two shorts at the expected move, which again is this brown bar on TASTYWORKS. It's usually around the 25 to 30 delta if you don't have this here. And then you buy some wings, except the further out wing is wider than the closer. So we have a $5 wide put spread here, and I'll do, say, a $10 wide put spread there. So this would be called a 5x10 broken wing butterfly. Actually, I gotta change my quantity here. So it's a 1-2-1, buy one, sell two, buy one. So for this 5x10, I'm taking in 50 cents of credit. And this is somewhat confusing, but technically this is buying a broken wing butterfly because you're closest to the money leg you are buying. So the terminology is you buy a broken wing butterfly for a credit, which is a little bit confusing. But if we look at the curve analysis here, you can see there's a spike here where your short puts are, and to the downside you have your max loss, which would be close to the 425 mark. So this would be 424.50 because of you have $5. Your long put would be worth $5, so you have $5 to the downside plus your 50-cent credit. So it's $5.50 to the downside beyond your 430 put. And similar to that, you could do a put ratio where basically you don't buy this long put. So here it would be the same thing, except you have 1-to-1 risk to the downside, but you take in a lot more credit. And with this, you could go so the long put is closer to the money, and then you have a much wider put spread, and you're still taking in the credit. So if it lands anywhere between 448 and 430, then between 448 and 430, then you will make that extra profit. So I see some people in the chat are having some issue with sound. Sounds like other people aren't having issues. Not sure. Let me check here. Looks like I should have sound. If you guys could let me know. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I'm not sure why some of you are having sound issues. I'm not sure. It seems like it's not everyone. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. If you guys could maybe refresh or something, and see if that fixes the issue. So I guess going back to the put skew question, those are the different ways you can take advantage of that. So it's a 11 o'clock here Central Time. I was just planning to go for a half hour here today. If you guys have any questions or anything you want me to, Belgium is a hoax. Okay. If you guys have any questions or anything you want me to discuss on future live streams, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just kind of go through what I'm looking at in the market each day and go from there. So yeah, thanks everyone for taking the time and watching. I do have a Discord as well. It's $10 a month, but I post all my trades. Like I said, I have trade logs as well. Again, here's an example of one of the trade logs. So anyone who has the Discord can access these trade logs and see how a particular strategy is going. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat again. Yeah, so some people are still having audio. Not sure why, but like I said, I have the Discord. You can join through the YouTube channel. There's a join button. It's the gold membership. If you go through there, then if you go to Discord, you can connect your YouTube account and you'll gain access. To the server that way. The other thing too that I want to touch on before people leave, so I'm doing a promotion from now until the end of the stream tomorrow, where if you don't have a TASTYWORKS account, you can sign up with my referral link, which is in the description below. And if you do that and let me know, then I will send you some free merch. So I have some income options trading, water bottles, shirts, sweatshirts, laptop bags, stuff like that. So if you open and fund a new account, there's also a promotion. If you put in $10,000, TastyWorks will give you $500 as well. So that's also a perk with that. So just wanted to plug that as well. So thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Thanks, guys.